problem I'm having with my Mosin Nagant that I've attempted to correct. Previously, I needed a hammer to open this because there is a problem with the cocking knob on this particular rifle. Let's see. I need to get a new cocking knob because it's a little ridiculous and it gets a lot worse when you open the rifle. I was able to determine that it has nothing to do with the space, the headspace, because, well, I still have the same issue without having that on there. It shouldn't happen, but as you can see, the problem still exists with having this last little part right here. I've done a little filing right here and tried a couple of different things, but in the end, what you get is on this part right here, you can see, well, actually you probably can't see, but on this part right here there is no wear, and I've cycled this bolt thousands of times trying to break it in to fix my problem. So inevitably, what I tried to do to fix it, which didn't work, well, it helped. It's a whole lot better. You can actually shoot this gun now without bringing a hammer, but I'm going to still have to replace it because, oh yeah, that's how short my spring is. The Mosin is really hard to break anyways, but what you do is this part right here doesn't have any wear, and these surfaces on the Mosin is supposed to contact in two places, here, and you see how polished that is right there. This is very, very well done right here from cycling the bolt. That's what's supposed to happen, but because you only get one contact point, you have to push up on this bolt and it tries to catch on the last part. And the only way I was able to do it was to modify my cocking knob to where it would work on this one part. And the only mistake, and the reason I'm having to buy a new cocking knob, is not because this does not work. The gun works, it fires, I fired it. It's because I took off just a teeny tiny 2-bunch metal right here fitting the firearm, and because of that one stupid mistake, this is going to probably cost me about $40 to fix, or I'll just buy a new rifle and throw one of those on there. But I'd like to have an extra bolt. It's actually a good idea for Mosin. The bolt's really the only thing that you have to worry about. And on this part right here, I just shrink that angle down some, like that, from the stock, so I don't have to put as much pressure, because instead of having a steep upward angle, it has this angle right here, and that works much better. And then I came back on this side and I fitted it backwards so that it matched the angle. Well, I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. Let me put this right back together. Normally on a Mosin from the factory, you would need I have a really hard time with this, but with mine you just simply sort of drop it in. And if you have trouble getting the fire, you just take the firing pin out a little more. With the spring pressure, you're not going to bust through the steel case. Just specifically, that mating surface right there has no wear on it. You can still see the tool marks, and that's because this piece right here that you can see that makes contact with it at the very tip going down, it doesn't actually contact this surface right here, whereas on the other side there's a piece right here, this other contact surface. It makes contact on this space right here, but on this space right here, no contact, which makes the bolt very difficult to open. You need a hammer. So no contact right here on this part, lots of contact right here. I just simply See that how that doesn't look speck at all? That's because it's not. I tried grinding that at a shallower angle, and that made it where I didn't need a hammer to open the bolt. And on this side, I tried to adjust it, but as you can see, you can still see some space in between there. I didn't do it right, so I'm going to need a new cocking knob. That's how you determine that this is the problem with your rifle. It takes a lot of time to diagnose a problem like this, especially if you have to do all the research yourself. So a gunsmith and their expertise, especially someone familiar with bolt action firearms, I would recommend you go to them. Because if you try to do it yourself, you'll learn a lot about the firearm, but you might slightly screw up just a little. Just a little.